Jen, checking in with your weekly food log review. I have a couple of suggestions. I know you are a creature of habit with your breakfasts, having the piece of bimbo bread. I'm not familiar with bimbo, but I'm thinking the bread that I have my kids use. Sometimes I'll use Ezekiel bread. They haven't got acclimated to that just yet. So the bread that I use with them is a Nature's Own. And it's called Nature's Own Life, and it's 40 calories for one slice. And we do the whole wheat, and it's actually whole honey wheat. There's no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup, none of that nonsense. So it would be a better option for bread, getting that whole grain in as opposed to just plain white bread. So that would be something that you could look into that would be less inflammatory on the gut than just plain white bread. The Nature's Own Life has a double fiber bread. So that would be really, really good to get some fiber and some extra good calories that are going to keep you fuller longer. This past Monday, you had a great lunch. Excellent work with that. So I noticed one time you had logged a cup and a half of beans. And then I think you also had rice in there as well. So instead of, if you're going to be doing rice and beans, which I combo them together all the time for Mexican burrito bowls and all of that, but let's cut back the beans to maybe a half of a cup or maybe even a fourth of a cup if you're having the rice as well. You have to play around with those numbers, but because you did a cup and a half of beans, it's a very high carb content. Even though there's lots of good fiber in there, it's a high carb content for a meal. So just keep that into consideration. Where you are using mayo, another option for a less processed spread would be some ground avocado or smashed avocado. So you can take a slice of avocado, sprinkle a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, as well as some salt. I also do a little bit of lemon juice or lime juice, mix it all together, and I use that as a spread instead of doing mayonnaise or something. So that would be a good option that's less inflammatory on your belly. I am seeing lots of, pretty much for most meals, I'm seeing, a 24-ounce iced tea or one of those ice drinks. That's fine, but I'm going to challenge you to do one or the other for lunch or dinner. So instead of doing maybe an iced drink for breakfast, sweet tea for lunch, choose just one of them. So instead, having two meals, maybe tomorrow you do some unsweetened iced tea, and then on Monday you put in the iced drink. That way we're getting some more quality food, quality beverage drinks. I think though you may not be as thirsty to get regular water in because you're filling your belly with those other things. The ice drink has, some I know I looked on it, but artificial coloring or something that may be keeping you fuller or more, so that you're not thirsty for regular water. So let's see if we can cut back on that to get more water in your system. How is the infused water that you're doing? Are you able, is that more palatable for you? Let me know how that's going and how you're doing in your workouts. Hope you're doing well. Have a good weekend.